Hello, I'm Emma Howard and I'm joined by Dr. Jonty Heaversedge, who's an expert on men's health problems. Hello, Jonty.
Hi, Emma.
I have a question here from a father-to-be. My wife is pregnant and wants to have sex with me. Is this safe for the baby? He wants to know.
Absolutely, yes, it is safe for the baby. The baby is protected by a sac filled with fluid, filled with amniotic fluid. So actually is really quite well cushioned within the womb. So from that point of view, it's quite safe. There are a couple of conditions that you need to be a little bit aware of in pregnancy. If there's a history of premature labour, then you do need to be potentially a bit more careful.
But that's further down the line, isn't it? So what about 8 months you need to be careful?
It's further, yeah, that's further down the line. Well, premature labour can happen earlier, so I think that's something to
6 months,
absolutely.
yes.
So I think that's something to talk to your talk to your doctor about. And also, occasionally the placenta lies quite low in the womb, and that'll be picked up on the scan quite early on in pregnancy. If that's the case, again, you just need to be a little bit more careful. So if there's been any bleeding in pregnancy or any concerns about the pregnancy, talk to your doctor. But in general, the answer is yes, it's absolutely safe to have sex during pregnancy.
And there's often a misconception that the baby's lying much lower, and men maybe are thinking their penises are much bigger,
Yes.
but they're thinking the two things will kind of meet, and that's just not the case at all, is it?
Collide. Well, it's not the case. I think later on in pregnancy, deep penetration can be a bit uncomfortable. But again, it's about experimenting. I mean, I think there's also the issue of the bump that's getting larger and larger, and actually finding a position that feels comfortable is important. But experiment. There's certainly no harm in trying.
And for women, they can have different experiences during pregnancy in the sense that some pregnancies their sex drives will be lower, and some pregnancies their sex drives will be higher. So again, the communication, would you say, between the two people about
essential.
what's really going on?
Well, I mean, that's it's absolutely crucial throughout the pregnancy, really, because it might change during the pregnancy as well. It just depends, and I think that's what I mean about kind of talking to one another. And it sounds as though his wife's keen, but it's not always the case.
Thank you, Jonty. Good advice. And we hope that if you have a similar problem, that we might have given you some help. But remember, it's always best to go and see your own doctor for medical advice. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more health questions and answers.